The Islamic Supreme Council of Zambia is a non-profitable organization and the umbrella mother body of all Islamic organizations in Zambia. Established in 1987, the Islamic Supreme Council of Zambia is engaged in overseeing the smooth running of all Islamic affairs in Zambia. The Islamic Supreme Council of Zambia works in partnership with Dubai charity organization, DCA. It provides the following for the Zambian communities: distribution of wheelchairs, drilling of boreholes, construction of orphanages, construction of mosques, distribution of clothes, sewing machines, to mention but a few. The Islamic Supreme Council of Zambia. Understanding Islam and Muslims. What is Islam? Clear your misconceptions on Islam and Muslims. Topics relative, connected, and in line with Islam. Get your answers every Wednesday at 18 hours on Live Radio 97.3. Understanding Islam and Muslims. Brought to you with the compliments of the Islamic Supreme Council of Zambia. Good evening and welcome to Understanding Islam, a program that comes to you on a day like this one, which is a Wednesday, from the hours of 18 until the hours of 19. The aim of this program is to ensure that someone out there could understand Islam. So many misconceptions and so much has been said about Islam, but this is your chance to understand Islam in, a perspective of a Muslim. Remember that you too can also be a part of this particular program via our text line and our call line that we'll be giving you very shortly. Remember that this program is going to give you insights on things that are important to you and to me. And of course, today we have an exciting topic. So just put it right there on 97.3, because this day on Understanding Islam is one that would definitely blow your mind away. I'm not alone in the studios. Of course, I am with my very own. That's Ibrahim Mofia. Good evening.
Good evening. Assalamu alaikum.
Tonight, we do get meeting together as we are sharing information and knowledge on an exciting topic. And what are we talking about today?
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulin Kareem. Wa ba'd. All praises are due to Allah, the Lord of nations, the one who has given us this opportunity to meet once again. Today's topic, we're going to discuss Christ in Islam as a very important topic indeed.
Amazing. So there you go, dear listener. Remember, you too can get sending in your advanced questions and your comments. Later on, we'll be opening up the lines. But for now, you can send in your questions on 0977 624270. That's 0977 624270. And later on, we'll be opening up the lines on 0211 295390. So get your pen, get writing those numbers. That's 0977 624270 and 0211 295390. The topic today on Understanding Islam is Christ in Islam. Before we do get starting, there's something that I've noticed in most of our topics that we do bring in, there's an issue of prophets and prophets being sent at different times. How can we just help us understand how that is and what it means? A prophet being sent at a certain time and then build it up into where Jesus is.
Thank you very much, my brother. This is a very, very important question to every one of us. Firstly, before we go anywhere else, I would like to talk about the prophet in Islam. A prophet is a person chosen by God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and sent to his people, the people that understand his language, the people that he will communicate with, the people that have forgotten the true path of God. And this prophet is there to guide them to the straight path. I'm saying this because the Quran tells us so. The Quran says, وَلَقَدْ بَعَثْنَا فِي كُلِّ أُمَّةٍ رَسُولًا. Indeed, we've sent messengers to their nations with the essence لِيَعْبُدُوا اللَّهَ وَاجْتَنِبُوا الطَّاغُوتَ, so that they can worship God and leave idolatry. This is the many essence why prophets were sent to different nations at different timings. For example, the first prophet was Noah alayhi salam. He was sent to his people, to his nation, when idolatry became the talk of the day. When people started worshipping the pious people, pious men who died after them, then devil enticed them, seduced them. He told them that I'm going to make for you 5 people, because these people were pious among them. They used to help them. They used to assist them. So when they died, when those people died, people complained a lot and they were in grief. Then Satan went to them and said, I would like to make for you these people so that you take them as a remembrance. And then he made 5 idols, just like them, similar to those people, the way they looked. Then those people used to respect them. And then after that generation has gone, the other generation came. This generation did not know the essence why those 5 idols were made. They started worshipping them. So this meaning that after a certain generation, you would find that people forget the true path of God. And then in such instances, God could send messengers to come and teach people the true belief of God and the true way on how they can worship God. So this is the reason why God could send messengers and prophets in different timings and places. As regards to Jesus, Jesus came before Muhammad and is considered to be the last messenger sent, the messenger from the children of Israelites. He's the last messenger who specifically came to the lost sheep of Israel. This is according to what the Quran has stated, that he was sent to the lost sheep of Israel. And then Jesus came to them with the true signs from his God, with the true revelation, with the gospel, which talks about the oneness of God, which talks about how people could worship God.
I see here that Muslims and Christians do get to live together. What sort of message is in the Quran that will help, a Muslim live with a Christian?
Thank you very much. The Quran states, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. I'll be reciting the Arabic part and you translate the English part so that we know that the original manuscript of the Quran is in Arabic and it can be translated into different languages. Allah the Almighty tells us in the Quran, Quran 5 verse 85, he mentions, وَلَتَجِدَنَّ أَقْرَبَهُمْ مَوَدَّةً لِلَّذِينَ آمَنُوا الَّذِينَ قَالُوا إِنَّا نَصَارَى ذَلِكَ بِأَنَّ مِنْهُمْ قِسِّيسِينَ وَرُهْبَانًا وَأَنَّهُمْ لَا يَسْتَكْبِرُونَ. Now listen to this important message, and you would find that the nearest among them in love to the believers, we do find those who say we are Christians. Because among these are men who are devoted to learning and men who have renounced the world, and they are not arrogant. So that is why you would find that there is that brotherhood and closeness between Muslims and Christians, because they've got something in common. Mm-hmm. When you look at the origin of these religions, you would find that it is the same origin. When you look at the messengers, each one is prophesying the coming of the other messenger, which shows what? Which shows the closeness of Muslims and the Christians. Mm. Yes.
There was a question that came through, it should have been last week, where someone was saying that where is Muhammad mentioned in the Bible? Since today we're looking at Jesus being mentioned in the Quran. So the biggest question here is Muhammad mentioned, for those that have just tuned in today, is he mentioned in the Bible? And if not, why?
Okay, this is in fact, this is a topic on its own when it comes to Muhammad. Muhammad in the Bible, when we read Deuteronomy 18:18, can explain the descriptions of his descriptions have been mentioned in the word in this particular verse. You would find that the Bible talks about God raising from the people that will come from their brethren a messenger, and then this messenger is going to have the similarities closer to those similarities of Moses, who is Musa alayhi salam, according to Islam. So if you can read Deuteronomy, if you have the Bible, you can read Deuteronomy 18:18. You're going to get the details. The person described in that verse, you'd find that it is Muhammad. Mm-hmm. And you'd find also some verses in the Bible where Jesus is prophesying the coming of the prophet, and that this prophet is the one who is going to guide human beings, and is that is going to show them, and is that is going to start from where Jesus had ended, and is going to guide them forever. You'd find that all these verses they talk about the coming of Muhammad. And then later we're going to talk about the Muhammad in detail, and where or which verses talk about Muhammad later on when we talk about Muhammad in the Bible and in the Quran.
Our topic today is Christ in Islam. The biggest question is, according to the Quran, Christ, Jesus, what status is he referred to?
Thank you very much.
Is he also referred to as Christ or just Jesus?
Okay, thank you very much. Firstly, we Muslims, we believe that Jesus is the mightiest, one of the mightiest messengers and prophets that God sent. And that we believe that he was born miraculously. And we believe that he was born from a very honored mother, who is Maryam. In Islam we say Maryam, but it is Mary. And we believe that he was born without the intervention of a man. This is what we consider, what we believe as Jesus in the Quran. Now, looking at the word Christ, we have another word, not Christ, we have another word, Messiah. We have Messiah, we have Christ. When we look at these two words, are just the same words. Mm-hmm. Christ, it means anointed, somebody who is anointed, somebody who is appointed. We call this is the Christ, somebody who is appointed or anointed. But this Christ, it is a Greek word coming from the word Christos. Okay, the Greek people, they say Christos, meaning the anointed. And then look at this other word, Messiah. Messiah, they are just synonymous words. Messiah also means anointed. But this word Messiah is an Hebrew word. Okay. When you look at the three languages, we have Greek, we have Arabic, and we have Hebrew. In Greek we say Christ. In Hebrew we say Messiah. In Arabic we say Masih. Look at the differences in the meaning, the interchanging in the meanings. They are just interchanging the wording themselves, but you find that the meaning is just one and the same meaning. And then look at the word Jesus. The word Jesus itself is Greek, because in Hebrew or Aramaic or Arabic we do not have J. Have you seen? We do not have J where we say G. Okay, but when we look at in Greek they have J. So Jesus, this is Greek word. When you go to Arabic, we say Isa. When you go to Hebrew, they say Esau. So you can see that Greek, Hebrew, and Arabic, they've got the similar. The word is almost the same. Isa and Esau. When you go to Aramaic, the same thing. So Jesus, it is just in terms of the language or the translation of these names. In Greek, we say Jesus. So when it comes to these titles, in fact, it is important that we should know that Christ, it is not the name, but it is the title. So if we hear a Muslim saying Isa, don't get surprised. The Isa we are talking about is just Jesus. And we are very, very happy and proud to call our sons, our children, as Isa, because we know that this is the greatest of messengers and prophets. Yes.
What is the importance of someone who's a Muslim to engage in understanding such information about Jesus? Is it allowed for a Muslim to read the Bible?
A Muslim can read anything. A Muslim can learn anything. You can learn philosophy. You can learn anything. You can learn. A Muslim, there are not any restrictions which will stop you from learning or maybe reading the Bible. That is why you would find that most of the Muslims, they can read the Bible. They know the Bible. They can teach the Bible. Okay, that is why because the things which are there in the Bible and the things which are in the Quran are just the same things. That is why we do not find it a difficult thing to believe in whatever Jesus taught in the Bible. We do not find it a problem. Unless if there is something which Jesus did not teach, but somebody else tried to bring in some other things which were not there, then there we'll say, no. This Jesus did not say this, because the Quran tells us such and such a thing. Yes.
Okay, there you go, dear listener. Remember, you too can get sending in your message. It's on 0977-624270. That's 0977-624270. Feel free also to call us on 0211-295390. So the lines are open on 0977-624270 and 0211-295390. Today on Trying to Understand Islam, we have a topic dubbed entitled Christ in Islam. And of course, your participation is welcome, and your comments and contributions are, respected as well. So all you got to do is picking up your phone and get sending your message on 0977-624270, or better still on 0211-295390. There's so much that, especially probably in the Bible, information about the birth of certain people is not there. My question is there any information in regards to the birth of Mary according to
the Quran?
The Quran.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. When we look at the Quran, it talks about the birth of Mary, and it also describes how honored she was. In fact, it talks about the parents of Mary before even mentioning the name of Mary. And the good part of it is that in the Quran there is a chapter 19 of the Holy Quran, which which is bearing the name of Mary itself. It is called Surah Maryam, meaning the chapter of Maryam. This all shows how honored this woman was. The Quran explicitly tells us about Mary. وَإِذْ قَالَتِ الْمَلَائِكَ يَا مَرْيَمُ إِنَّ اللَّهَ اصْطَفَاكِ وَطَهَّرَكِ وَاصْطَفَاكِ عَلَى نِسَاءِ الْعَالَمِينَ. Before even talking about the birth of Mary, the Quran talks about how Mary was. It says, behold, the angel said, they said to Mary, O Mary, God hath chosen thee and purified thee, chosen thee above the women of all nations. And then it continues to say, Ya Maryam qunuti li rabbiki, O Mary, worship thy Lord devotedly. Wasjudi warka'i ma'ar raki'in, prostrate thyself and bow down in prayer with those who bow down. This one talks about how honored Mary was, such that God had chosen her for a very big purpose, and that God had purified her. She was unchaste. She did not engage herself in worldly things. And because of this, she was above the women of all nations. This is Maryam, this is Mary in Islam. Look at this message. Muhammad, it was going to be easy that, according, if we assume that he copied from the Jews and Christians who were there, if we assume, this was not going to be possible because he was unlettered. Where did he get this information? Why didn't he get one of his relatives and talk about that relative, or maybe an aunt, or maybe anybody, and described that person the way Mary has been described? But because it was an inspiration from God, which was sent to Muhammad, so that he can teach the people about Maryam, about Mary, the person who is going to be the mother of the greatest messenger, who is Isa alayhi salam. May the peace and blessings of God be upon Jesus. So all these are the things which the Quran talks about. I know we will come to the what? We'll come to the birth of Mary. Coming to the birth of Mary, firstly, her mother. She comes from the family of Imran. Her mother Hannah never used to give birth. She kept on crying to God. God, I need a son, I need a child that is going to offer your service. And then God answered her prayer, and she gave birth to the daughter. And then, it was a custom, it was a belief in them that daughters cannot offer the service of God as per expected. But here is the word, is the daughter. And then she said, oh God, I've given birth to the daughter, and I've named her Maryam, Mary. And the daughter cannot be like the son. And since I vowed that this child is going to do what? Is going to be charged to offer your services. So I'll give her unto your hands, so that she can what? She can offer your services. This is Mary. So you'll find that during her time there were a lot of conflicts disputes, especially the priests, who is going to take care of this child. Because Mary, the way she grew up in a good manner, a respected person, a person full of wisdom, the dealings, the conduct, the way she dealt with the people around her. Until the people played lots. They said, we'll see who is going to be the custodian of this child. But the Lord fell on Zachariah, who was her uncle. And then she became, she could offer prayers in her chamber where she stayed. She could offer prayers. And then surprisingly, each time the uncle entered her chamber, entered the place, the worshipping place where she could stay, you could find the summer food in winter. For example, in winter, certain foods you will not find them. Sometimes in summer, certain foods you will not find them. You would find them in where? In winter. But in winter, the uncle could find the summer food. And then he could ask, where did you get the food? She could say, this food is from God. Because God gives. God is the provider. He gives sustenance to whomever he wishes. So this is about Mary. Mary is mentioned in the Quran as somebody who was chosen, as a woman who was chosen for a special purpose, and that she was raised above all the women of the nations. Yes.
Okay. So there you go, dear listener. You too can also be a part of it on 0977-624270. That's 0977-624270 and 0211-295390. Christians believe that Christ, Jesus, is the way, the truth, and the light. Also, the belief, within Christianity of the Trinity. These are some of the things that are also in the Bible. What does the Quran say about Jesus in that aspect?
Okay, concerning the Quran, it says that each and every messenger is the way and the truth to his people. Because whoever messenger comes, he comes with the same message. And this message, he calls the people to God. So each messenger who comes, he comes as the way and the truth and the path, the right way to God. For example, when you follow each messenger, the different messengers in the Quran, they would say, Inni Rasulun Amin. Inni Rasulun Amin, meaning I'm the trustworthy messenger, trustworthy person who've been sent to you so that I can deliver the message of God to you. I do not need anything. I do not need wealth. I do not need money. But all I need is to help you so that you can be guided, you can know who God is. You can get some examples like Abraham. He used to tell the people that you people, why do you worship things which do not think, things which do not speak? For example, there is this incident because Abraham was born in a family where the father himself used to worship idols. And for him, he could even make idols. And then he could send him to go and sell those idols. Just imagine. But because the son should be obedient to the father, Abraham could agree. And when selling them, when he goes to the market, he could say, you people, come and buy these idols that do not harm or benefit. Have you seen?
That's the way
the way he used to do it, to sell. You people, you come and buy these things that do not harm or benefit. In short, he's telling you that buying these things, they are nothing. They are useless. They will not help you. They will not harm you. They will not benefit you. So have you seen? So you'd find that each and every messenger, when he comes, is the truth, because he tells them the word of God, and is the way, because he shows them the right path to God. So in Islam, what Jesus has said in the Bible, it is correct. The Quran confirms that each messenger who comes is the truth and the way to God.
So there you go, our dear listener. You too can also be a part of the program Understanding Islam. Remember that this program comes to you every Wednesday, as we do give you a great opportunity to interact with, our brother Ibrahim Mofia. And of course, remember that this one is brought to you compliments of the Islamic Supreme Council. That is definitely the way to go. It's 0977-624270. That's 0977-624270 and 0211-295390. So those are the two numbers tonight. That's 0977-624270 and 0211-295390. I have a message here. It's saying, good evening.
Good evening.
What is the meaning of jihad, holy war? Okay. No name on that message?
Okay, thank you very much. This is a very nice question. The word of jihad, it is an Arabic word coming from the word juhdi, ijtahada yajtahidu. Juhdin, it is the effort, because each time we talk about jihad, people would think of carrying guns and bombs. No, that is not the meaning of jihad. The jihad comes from the word juhdi, meaning to strive or to struggle or to put some efforts or to work extra hard. That is the meaning of jihad. And then in Islam, this jihad can be divided. There is what we call jihad in nafsi. Jihad in nafsi is to strive in such a way that you are moving or migrating from the way you used to do things to doing good things as a way of reforming. We call that one as jihad. Okay? There is another way where you are fighting to protect your nation from the enemies, or to protect your religion from the enemies, or you are protecting the people that when they die, then there will not be that nation. The nation will not stand. That one we call it jihad, because you are doing it for the cause of God. So this jihad should not be misunderstood as most of the people do. Some they go there, they think of, as I've already stated, they think of guns and the bombings which are taking place. That is not the meaning of jihad. But the meaning of jihad comes from it can include the meanings that I've already given.
Remember to make a date. We always come to you from the hours of exactly 18 up to 19 every Wednesday. This is Understanding Islam. I have a message that is going straight to you, Brother Mofia here, saying, bro, on radio, you are good. Okay, I'm following the program closely. I am a Muslim too. People should know the truth. Okay, no name on that one. That one is your message. Another message that has come in our box is saying, evening panelists, this is Zakeo Piri from Kalingalinga. The reason why Jesus is not Christ, but a prophet, is the fact that Islam started as polycentric religion, and God decided to send prophets to bring people back to him. So if Jesus is considered Christ, then it would mean adherents of Islam is practicing polytheism, which is a grave crime in Islam. Thank you. Any comments on that message?
Okay, my brother, to help you understand, if you can understand the mission of Jesus Christ, may the peace and blessings of God be upon him, you don't say that what Muslims are practicing is taking them to polytheism. You don't say that. Islam is
so many big words that have been used. Let's try to break them down. Polytheism, help us understand these.
When you look
words.
at the word polytheism meaning worshipping many gods, believing in the worship of many gods. Monotheism meaning worshipping only one true God. So when you talk of polytheism, it is you who is misunderstanding, who do not know the missions of these messengers. My brother, you have to know that the mission of Jesus, he only came to the lost sheep of Israelites. And the Israelites, these are the people that had left the way that God had taught them before. And then that is why Jesus came to them, so that he can bring them back to the path of God. There I agree with you. You said the reason why he came is to bring the people to the path of God. That is very true. Each and every messenger, he comes so that he can bring the people to the path of true God. But where you went on to say believing in Islam, it leads to polytheism, that is not correct, my brother. If you've got misunderstandings concerning the Islam, concerning Islam, you have to come through so that we can learn Islam, we can teach ourselves, we can remind one another what the Bible says and what the Quran says about this prophet.
Okay, there you go. Another message here coming from Kelvin saying, hey, do you love God?
Yes, we love God. That is why we are coming through this program, so that we can teach ourselves the greatness of God.
Amazing. Another one, another message. Remember, you too can get sending in your messages or giving us a voice call. You can call us now on 0211-295390. That's 0211-295390 or 0977-624270. A message here in my box saying, good evening, man of God.
Good evening.
I'm enjoying the program. And my question is, why do you consider weakness as a sign, why do you consider forgiveness as a sign of weakness when Jesus said, forgive 70 times 70? It's coming from Jelly within Lusaka. So Jelly's understanding is that Muslims don't forgive. This is a summary of his question. So he's saying, why is it considered weakness to forgive? Is that the case?
That is not true, my brother. When you look at the time of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu, may peace and blessings of God be upon him, in his time he lived with the Jews. In his time he lived with the Christians. They could they had treaties between themselves where they could help one another, where they could assist one another. That is why you find that Islam even commanded, the Quran even commanded Muslims to be marrying the Christians, even to be eating with them, eating together, showing that there is, in fact, there is love between them. There is harmony between them. There is forgiving each other between them. Because you cannot live with someone that you cannot forgive. So I disagree with you where when you say, no, Muslims, they say if you do not forgive, if you forgive, that is a sign of weakness. That is not true.
So there you go. Just in case you have any question, it could be a misunderstanding. Remember that our brother is here to help us understand. And of course, you too can get sending in your contributions and questions. Remember, you can also give us a voice call on 0977-624270 and 0211-295390. So pick up your phone and raise those questions tonight as we do get exploring the program Understanding Islam, brought to you courtesy and compliments of the Islamic Supreme Council of Zambia. Due to Understanding Islam, good evening.
Yeah, evening. My name is Zimba.
Hello? Yes, you're through to the program.
Sheikh,
yes, please.
We have a situation in our country where Edgar Lungu has not been accepted by the UPND as the president of this country. From the Islamic perspective, what is your comment?
Thank you, Mr. Zimba.
This is a very, when we look at Islam, it talks about the people that are considered to be the true believers of God. Because as much as I know, Zambia is a Christian nation. Is it not so?
Yes, it is.
Zambia is a Christian nation, and meaning that we should be considerate to the affairs of the nation that are taking place. Is it not so? We should be very much considerate. Also, Islam talks about leadership as a gift from God. And it even says that Ya ayyuhal ladhina amanu, you people that have believed in God, ati'u Allah wa ati'u Rasul, obey God and obey His messenger. Meaning we obey God and we obey what? The true ways of those messengers that came. Wa ulul amri minkum, we should also obey our leaders, those that are leading us. It can be in churches, it can be in the house, in the home, it can be in the country. So it's a must for us to obey our leaders, and we can advise them where necessary, where we feel that things are not moving on well. And then we should not say, this one is not my president, because at the end of the day, we are all one Zambia, one nation, and at the end of the day, we are commanded, or we are instructed, or we are driven by those leaders. So it is indeed Islamically not okay to disobey our leaders. The most we can do, the most important thing we can do is just to come together and discuss issues and resolve issues which may bring differences or misunderstandings among us.
So, a short peek at what you said. What you're meaning is that we should acknowledge.
We should acknowledge that these are our leaders that have been chosen, and we cannot deny the fact, because they are already there. What brings them there? Because they were chosen.
So there you go, Mr. Zimba. Mr. Abraham Mofia has definitely, given us the answer. Remember, you too can also be a part of it. It's 0977-624270. That's 0977-624270 and 0211-295390. You too can get interacting with us tonight as we do get understanding Islam. Remember, our topic for the night is Christ in Islam. We have another message coming from the Igwe saying, Jay, how can I join, please? How can I join them? He wants to, I don't know which is the best word to use, convert?
Yes, if it is convert or join, it's one and the same thing.
Okay.
My brother, if you want to convert, just come to our center, that is behind Castle Shopping Complex, along Kafue Road, off Kafue Road, behind Castle Shopping Complex. You're going to find even a mosque. You're going to see the minaret of the mosque. You can come through. Joining Islam does not need you to be, it doesn't require anything. It only needs your presence, your time, your commitment, because you are coming to Islam.
Another message here coming from Rita in Lusaka is saying, I am following the program. Say much about Muhammad. I want to know much about him, because I don't know. It's a question and a complaint from Rita. Obviously, she's surprised that today we're looking at Christ in Islam, and she wants to know about Muhammad. Please say much about him. So that's Rita there in Lusaka.
Thank you very much, Rita. Muhammad is the last messenger and the seal of prophets. He came some 500 years ago, after Jesus Christ, and then Muhammad carried the same message that Jesus carried, to call mankind to the true path of God. The history of Muhammad, when we talk of his father is Abdullah, his mother was Amina, and Muhammad grew up as an orphan. He never had parents. They all died. And then the reason for that, God knows best why He raises messengers. In most cases, if we follow the history of messengers, you'd find that they grew up in such a way that they were orphans. And then Muhammad, at the age of 40, he became the messenger, and Angel Gabriel came to him with the message. This is how he became the messenger of the prophet of all the people. And then the other thing is that Muhammad came for all the people, all the nations. You see, each prophet had a certain mission. Some messengers could come to their people. For example, we are different tribes in Zambia. There are Bembas, there are Tongas, there are Tumbukas. If a messenger comes to the Bembas, he goes, the other one comes to the Tongas, he goes, the other one. Now, like for Muhammad, he came to all the what? All the people, all the nations, because he's the what? Is the seal of all the messengers.
Okay. Another message that has rolled in tonight is saying, "Good evening, man of God.
Good evening.
Do you in the Quran believe in miracles?"
Yes, the Quran talks about plenty of miracles, which most of the messengers did. Yes. For example, when you look at the miracles of Jesus, he talks about raising the dead, the way Jesus used to do it. Of course, he could do that by the will of God. He talks about healing the sick, healing the leper. You can all those things. All these are some of the miracles that Jesus did. He talks about the miracles that Muhammad performed. The Quran itself is the miracle, because when you look at the Quran, you'd find that it maintains the original manuscript since it was revealed 1400 years ago. Itself is a miracle. When you look at the wording, the way the words are arranged, when you look at the deeper meanings of the Quran, or the Quran, you find that it is a miracle. It talks about the miracles of other messengers also, like Abraham. Abraham, as he called people to the true path of God, people denied him. And then they prepared a fire so that he can be burnt. He was thrown into that fire. He stayed there for 40 days. And everything, the fire, the wood was burned to ash. But he came walking to them. All these, you find that the Quran talks about the miracles of these messengers. And the reason why these miracles were done, so that their people can believe in them.
Okay. Another message here saying, "Good evening. Why is it that you Muslims don't believe in Trinity?" This is coming from Mwemba Cassidy. So the question, do Muslims believe in Trinity?
Okay, we Muslims, we do not believe in the Trinity, because the Quran does not teach us anything concerning the Trinity. All it teaches us is that we should believe in one true God. And this God is not made up of three gods, where the Son and the Holy Spirit, whatever it has been put. The Quran does not talk about the Trinity. The Trinity talks about the oneness of God. We believe in God and we believe in His messengers.
Today on the program, we're looking at Christ in Islam. Try to chip in your message. We'll be wrapping up shortly. Remember, it's 0977-624270. That's 0977-624270 and 0211-295390. This one coming from Mlenga within Lusaka is saying, "Good evening, brothers.
Good evening.
Who do you think is greater between Allah and God? And if Jehovah is greater, why are you practicing Islam?" That's coming from Mlenga. So Mlenga has used three words. I want to single them out. He's used a comparison of Allah and God, and then he's also referred to Jehovah. Help us understand these three terms before you answer his question on who's greater and why we should be practicing Islam if Jehovah is greater.
Okay. Mlenga, my brother, in Islam, we call the God who created everything, who created you, who created the world, who created the earth, who created everything, who created the world and whatever is within them. We call him Allah, and this Allah is in Arabic. So my brother, do not confuse yourself. If you want to know the true God, that we worship, the greatest God, as you have asked, is the one who created you, who created the surroundings that you see, the world the way you see it, the sun that sets, that rises, whatever is around you, look at them, you get to know you get to know the greatest God that we worship.
And so my question here is, why I singled Allah, God, and Jehovah? Are these different? Are they different, or are we talking about one thing?
Okay, the thing is, according to the Bible, the explanation of the Bible, you would find that the name of God has been put into different categories. But according to Islam, we only have one God, who is Allah. And then sometimes we can have Ilah. We can have what? We can have Ilah. This Ilah, it means God, but it is always in connection with the name of Allah, God. Because Ilah, sometimes it can mean the idols, these other gods that people worship. But when we say Allah, it is the unique name that governs all the names of God and all the attributes that God has. So this is according to Islam. But if you find it a problem to differentiate between Allah and Jehovah, then you should look at, if you call him, according to you, if you call him as Jehovah, you should look at the attributes of this Jehovah. What does this Jehovah do? Because you're going to find other people, they call God as Mulungu. You're going to find other people, these are differences according to our languages. Now, if that God is understood to be Jehovah, what are the attributes and the names of this Jehovah? And then if these names are different from the actual names that this Jehovah have, with the God that we Muslims understand, then we're going to say the comparison will start. But in short, for we to understand, is that the God that we worship, who is Allah, in Arabic language, is the one who has attributes and names, and is the one who has all powers, is the one who has no beginning or end.
Okay. So there you go. Zakaria is back again. Zakaria is the one that talked about those big words. Okay, so he says Islam is an Arabic word meaning total surrender or submission. So he says this is so in order that one can live in tranquility.
Yes.
Salam. One of the aspects of monotheism is omnipotence. Potence, rather. God is one. I did not mean that believing in Islam is practicing polytheisms. I meant that when people move from the face of Allah, it was now his onus to send prophets to bring his people back. Additionally, there are 6 tenets of Islam, one of them being belief in Allah's prophets and messengers from Zakeo. Yeah, so Zakeo is back to clarify.
Exactly. He has clarified the point. In fact, this is the correct way of explaining the belief of a Muslim, that Islam talks about monotheism, the belief in one true God, and it talks about the person who goes out of this monotheism, automatically it belongs to the polytheists. And then once you're a polytheist, you do not worship God, you worship other deities. And this is corruption, and it is not allowed by God himself, according to both scriptures, the Quran and the Bible.
Okay. So Rita, the one that wanted to know a little bit more about Muhammad, is asking, saying, when does the program come on air? Because I have just accidentally found it on the radio. It's a must-listen to program. A good program is coming up from Rita saying, God bless you.
Okay, thank you very much. In fact, since you've known that we have this program every Wednesday, it starts at exactly 18 hours up to 19. So you should make sure that you should tune to the radio whenever it is Wednesday at 18 o'clock.
Okay. We'll be going through some of your messages. Remember, you too can get sending them on 0977-624270. Remember, we only have about 5 more minutes. This is your chance to get interacting on the package tonight. Remember, it's Understanding Islam, and the topic for the night is Christ in Islam, a topic that we've definitely learnt a lot from tonight. Also learnt about the birth of Mary and some of the titles that Jesus has. And obviously, the reason why certain, prophets have been sent, in time immemorial because of certain situations or eras in time. That is the information that we've gotten from Brother Ibrahim Mofia. A message here coming up from Mulenga saying, it's Mulenga again. You said Jesus performed miracles, and you didn't say anything about Muhammad or any miracle he does. Does that mean Jesus should okay, this is a shorthand, I can't read that, I don't know what it means. The glory cause he died and rose again, Muhammad did. Okay, I think Mulenga here is into comparison. So he's saying that Jesus performed miracles and you mentioned them. Muhammad, in this particular case, you never mentioned them. When you referred to Islam, you talked about the Quran itself being
the greatest miracle, yes.
The greatest miracle, and he's making a comparison. He says Jesus, died and rose, but how come Muhammad here? We don't have any miracles that you've talked about. Are there any miracles?
Muhammad performed countless miracles. Plenty of the miracles he did. In fact, one of those miracles, he did them at a place known as Hudaybiyah. We Muslims, before we worship, before we pray, we perform our prayers. We make what we call ablution. Ablution is to wash the parts. We wash the hands. We gargle water into the mouth, in the nose, the face, the arms, on the head, in the ears, and in the what? On the legs. That is before performing our prayers. And then they were at Hudaybiyah. They had little water. Hudaybiyah is one of the places there in Mecca, in Saudi Arabia. They had little water, and all of them, they were about 4,300. 4,300. And all of them, they wanted to perform salah, to perform prayers. And then Muhammad asked for the little water that they had. And then he just put the fingers in the water, and the water were gushing out of his fingers. And all of them, 4,500, they performed ablution. And they performed salah prayers. These are some of the miracles that he did. The other miracle is splitting of the moon. Some disbelievers came to him to say, we cannot believe in you not until you split the moon into two. And Muhammad prayed to God, and God gave him a permission to do whatever he wanted. And then he said the moon, he commanded the moon to split, and it split into two. These are some of the miracles that Muhammad performed.
And they are listed in the Quran.
They are there in the Quran and in some the books of Hadith, because when it comes to the message, the inspiration that we have in Islam is that the Quran is the word of God. So you'd find some miracles are mentioned in the Quran, and you'd find that some miracles are mentioned in the Hadith. The Hadith, this is the word of the Prophet. Yes.
Okay, is there any recollection on the first miracle? for Muhammad?
How?
Like Jesus, his first miracle was turning water into wine. Is there any?
No, in terms of, in fact, according to Islam, the first miracle of Jesus is that he spoke when he was a baby. He spoke at cradle. Because it's because of the time we did not even go further to look at the birth of Jesus himself. Because when Jesus was born, Mary was born out of what? Without the father. So this one was blasphemous among the Jews. How can somebody who doesn't have a husband bear a child? Since we know that Jesus is the word from God. Because when God says be to something, it becomes. So this is how Jesus was created. It was a word from God into Mary. So when Jesus was born, Mary is carrying the baby. The people asked him, where is the father of the baby? And then Mary, by that time, could not say anything. He was commanded that you should not talk, because people will ask you a lot of questions. Okay? And then Mary pointed at this child, meaning ask him. And then Jesus, in cradle, spoke. He said, Inni Abdullah, I'm the servant of God. I'm the servant of God. I've been given the gospel. I've been made a prophet to the world. So this is the first miracle that he did. In fact, according to the Quran, it explicitly explains that. And then when it comes to Muhammad did a number of miracles. And then you see, as I've already said, that miracles, they happen when people want to believe in something. If you are a prophet, you should show the people the miracles. We are not talking about the miracles that are the things that are happening nowadays. These are not called miracles, because miracles were only done during the lifetime of the messengers, the prophets. So miracles stopped when Muhammad was sent. The miracles finished. There are no miracles. Yes.
Okay. We have another message coming from Zachariah. He's saying, I will be tuning into this program every Wednesday so that we can be interacting. I am a student at UNZA who learnt world religions, and Islam is one of them in my second year. Thank you, and Allah bless you.
Thank you very much, Zachariah.
Okay, another one here that is also coming up is saying, please, J-Foot, play me any Islam song that talks about God. I think this is another topic. It's coming from Kelvin here. Music?
For me, I'll recite for you the surah, the chapter in the Quran which talks about God.
Okay, so I think do that one for Kelvin, because you won't leave me as we conclude on today's package in Understanding Islam. I think recite that one. Can you recite it for him?
Yes, I can. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In the name of God, the most gracious, the most merciful. Qul huwa Allahu ahad. Say to them that God is the only one true God. Allahu samad. God is everlasting. Lam yalid wa lam yulad. This God does not give birth, neither was he begotten. وَلَمْ يَكُنْ لَهُ كُفُوًا أَحَدٌ. And there is nothing comparable to him.
Okay. So I bet Kelvin is happy. Okay, I think on that particular note, we'll be wrapping up on this particular edition of Understanding Islam. And of course, our topic tonight was Christ in Islam. Any last words as we wrap up?
In fact, there are a number of things we did not even touch them, like the birth of Jesus Christ. May the peace and blessings of God be upon him. We did not touch this point. We are going to touch it later on in our next program, inshallah, God willing. And my advice, I'm advising you and myself that let us please learn this program together. We can find a solution to our problems that we find in understanding our religions, understanding Islam and understanding Christianity.
So there you go. From me, I've been your presenter. My name's Ayesani Jose. Remember to cut a date and to make a date on a Wednesday as we do get looking at another exciting topic. Tonight we're looking at Christ in Islam. And of course, you too can also be a part of it next Wednesday. So we have Rita that has announced. Kelvin as well has also announced that he's going to be coming through. Not forgetting Mulenga, Zekeo as well. Yeah, from Yunzes. Lent, Islam in his second year at Yunza.
Yes.
I'd like to say thank you very much for your contribution. Yours is very much appreciated and welcomed. On that particular note, we do get wrapping up. But remember that you too can also be a part of it next Wednesday. So put it in your calendar at exactly 18 that you should tune into Live Radio 97.3. It's bye-bye. Understanding Islam and Muslims. What is Islam? Clear your misconceptions on Islam and Muslims. Topics relative, connected, and in line with Islam. Get your answers every Wednesday at 18 hours on Live Radio 97.3. Understanding Islam and Muslims. Brought to you with the compliments of the Islamic Supreme Council of Zambia. The Islamic Supreme Council of Zambia is a non-profitable organization and the umbrella mother body of all Islamic organizations in Zambia. Established in 1987, the Islamic Supreme Council of Zambia is engaged in overseeing the smooth running of all Islamic affairs in Zambia. The Islamic Supreme Council of Zambia works in partnership with Dubai Charity Organization, DCA. It provides the following for the Zambian communities: distribution of wheelchairs, drilling of boreholes, construction of orphanages, construction of mosques, distribution of clothes, sewing machines, to mention but a few. The Islamic Supreme Council of Zambia